Do you guys know what AEC stands for? The AEC stands for the ASEAN Economic Community. It involves the economic integration of 10 ASEAN countries, including Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. It covers the liberalization and facilitation of capital movement, labor movement, the harmonization of custom regulations, standards for goods, and economic policies among ASEAN countries. The AEC is one of the 3 pillars of ASEAN Community. The other 2 pillars are the ASEAN Political Security Community and the ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community. In order to achieve its goal, ASEAN created the AEC Blueprint. This blueprint serves as a master plan for the implementation of the AEC outlining targets.
So, begin with the first pillar, single market and production base. Next, the second pillar, competition economic region. The third pillar, equitable economic development. The last pillar, integration into globalized economy, aims to strengthen the trade and investment links between ASEAN and the world economy, which identified 2 actions to achieve the policy goal. The first action is to build a coherent approach towards external economic relations. The second action is to enhance participation in global supply networks. ASEAN continue to support the creation of ASEAN Plus One free trade areas. It has concluded and completed the ratification of 5 free trade agreements with Australia and New Zealand, China, India, Japan, and Republic of Korea. Furthermore, ASEAN Plus 6 countries agreed to launch a new free trade negotiation called the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP, which will represent the size of half of the global market and help further boost the collective vibrant economic potential in East Asia.
Now, we will focus on what has Thailand done in order to prepare itself for AEC in integration into the global economy. Before the ASEAN Free Trade Area has been virtually established in 1992, Thailand has imposed the pre-AFTA policy. The government introduced incentives to encourage the growth of export-oriented manufacturing and agriculture, resulting in the favorable treatment of imported inputs over local intermediate goods. This is to combat a high tariff rate for import substitution industries, which is fixed at much higher level than those of export-oriented industries.
The incentives introduced are tax incentives for enterprises in special investment promotion zones and for export enterprises. The example of the tax incentives: the exemption or 50% reduction from import duties and business taxes on imported machinery.
Currently, for the ASEAN Plus One, it consists of ASEAN Japan, ASEAN China, ASEAN Australia, ASEAN New Zealand, ASEAN India, and ASEAN Russia.
For the ASEAN Japan will take the account on only Thailand. It aims to boost the competitiveness of Thai business operators and Thailand in Southeast Asia. The Board of Investment of Thailand together with Nike Business Publication announced that Thailand Plus One, the strategy and opportunity for Japanese companies to do business in Thailand. It aims to stimulate further the economic relationship between Thailand and Japan with the strengthened cooperation across ASEAN. Under this policy, any foreign entrepreneurs who invest in Thailand will be offered as opportunity to establish their business in neighboring countries as well. The government would provide them with the information and support.
Next, ASEAN-China. Thailand and China have a limited agreement which eliminates tariff on some 116 agriculture items by October 2003. And since there have been lots of complaints about the flood of Chinese import of fruits and vegetables, both countries have tightened SPS, sanitary and phytosanitary standards, and TBT, technical barriers to trade, requirement to slow down the imports by insisting on local certification of fruit orchards in order to qualify for duty-free export to other countries. For Thai-Australia, TAFTA, it's comprehensive on trade in goods. Thailand has eliminated tariff on 78% of its import from Australia. Nearly all remaining tariffs will come down to zero by 2015 or 2020. For investment sector, Thailand has relaxed 49.9% of foreign ownership limit in some sectors, and investments from both sides have the right to transfer funds freely out of the country.
For Thailand and New Zealand, the Thailand-New Zealand Closer Economic Partnership Agreement is quite similar to TAFTA. Thailand eliminates most tariffs on New Zealand imports as soon as the agreement came into effect, with most of the rest to be done by 2020 and 2025.
For Thailand-India, Thailand and India agree an early harvest liberalization package, which will eliminate tariff on 82 items, which are mostly manufacturing and a few agricultural products, by September 2006. Since Thailand and India have lots of disagreement, the FTA negotiations have made only very little progress.
In the future, for the ASEAN-Russia, the Foreign Minister of Thailand expects an increase in trade and investment volume, as well as the expansion of relations and deepening the economic cooperation between ASEAN and Russia. In November 2012, the leaders of the ASEAN Plus 6 countries agreed to launch a new free trade agreement, negotiation called the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership.
If the 16-member RCEP is accomplished, it will be the world's largest free trade agreement, with a population of 3.35 billion, or more than 15% of the world total.
How does this help Thai economy? Thailand's export to RCEP countries reached $127 billion in 2014, representing 56% of total export value, and RCEP members made up 70% foreign direct investment in Thailand last year.
SEZ. In 2014, the government approved the Special Economic Zone SEZ development, which will cover altogether 10 border areas of Thailand, including ตาก กาญจนบุรี เชียงราย มุกดาหาร หนองคาย นครพนม ตราด สระแก้ว สงขลา and นราธิวาส The main objectives are to attract foreign direct investment, generate employment, improve standard of living through income distribution, and enhance Thailand's competitiveness in preparation for the AEC. Under this policy, Thailand's Board of Investment will offer incentives to investors, which will include both tax and non-tax incentives. In this figure summarize the impact of various free trade areas on GDP for ASEAN member states between 2011 to 2015. Free trade area involving ASEAN countries provide positive economic impact on Thailand's economy. Moreover, the coexistence of all ASEAN Plus 1 FTA creates higher economic impact than ASEAN's FTA. Especially, the ASEAN Plus 6 FTA have provided most benefit for Thailand and most ASEAN member states. By implementing these policy and agreements, Thailand is ready to deepen integration both within ASEAN and outside ASEAN to better integrate into regional and global value chains.
All in all, ASEAN might have numerous positive impacts on Thailand's economy. However, there are still some downsides of lack of preparation, such as product cost differential in different countries that may lead to losses in profit when selling a remaining product.